In the previous chapter, we explored choice. Now, we move closer to what silently shapes it. Before a single decision becomes visible, before action reaches the outside world, something always happens first. Quiet, unseen, undeniable. In the space within, it begins in the mind, and only later does it become reality. Every direction you take, every habit you repeat, every moment you believe is spontaneous has already been shaped beneath the surface by something subtle, yet constantly active, a mindset. And so the same storm never produces the same outcome. One person is broken by it, another is rebuilt within it, not because the storm changes, but because the lens does. Some minds are trained by fear, and fear is always early. It arrives before clarity, before understanding, before possibility. It tells you to stop before you begin, to shrink before you are seen, to retreat before anything is even tested. So life becomes something to avoid rather than something to meet. But there are other minds, not fearless, but differently formed. They do not deny difficulty, they do not escape pressure. They simply translate it differently. Where one sees threat, they see training. Where one sees failure, they see feedback. Where one sees an ending, they see something still becoming. And so reality does not change first. Interpretation does. I have not only observed this, I have lived inside it. There was a moment I stood still before continuing this journey, a quiet doubt asking whether this voice would even be heard, whether it was worth continuing into uncertainty. That moment could have ended everything, but beneath it, something steadier remained. Not loud, not dramatic, just enough to move me forward, so I chose to continue. And in that decision, this chapter found its breath, and I am grateful you are here, listening, because before we speak about changing life, we must first understand the lens through which life is seen. Now, Chapter 2, Mindset as the Foundation of Choice. A mindset is not what you think occasionally. It is what you return to when life applies pressure. It is the hidden architecture behind interpretation, the unseen filter between experience and response. Two people can stand in the same moment, hear the same truth, face the same weight of circumstance, and still become entirely different outcomes, not because reality split, but because meaning did. One mind believes itself already defined, fixed, concluded, finished. In that space, challenge feels threatening, effort feels exposing, failure feels like identity collapsing, so the safest path becomes avoidance. But another mind lives in motion. It does not see identity as final, but forming, not completed, but continuing. In that space, challenge becomes contact with growth. Failure becomes feedback still speaking. Effort becomes evidence that transformation is already underway. Nothing is wasted. Everything is learned. This is the quiet divide between a fixed lens and a growing one. And every choice you make passes through it, not only in defining moments, but in the smallest unseen decisions. Do you continue or retreat? Do you learn or label yourself? Do you try again or close the door too early? Even positivity, in its truest form, is not denial of difficulty. It is direction inside it, not pretending the weight is gone, but refusing to let it decide the ending. Because through a different lens, failure stops being a final statement and becomes a draft of understanding still unfolding. And this is where transformation begins, not in external change first, but in internal sight. The mind can be reshaped, not by force, but by repetition, by noticing the voice that concludes too quickly and choosing not to obey it. By replacing endings with continuations, I can't becomes not yet. I am stuck becomes I am becoming aware. I always fail becomes I am learning what I could not see before. By stepping into what is unfamiliar, not because comfort is wrong, but because comfort is not where expansion lives. And slowly, through repetition, identity begins to shift. What once felt impossible becomes ordinary. What once felt heavy becomes manageable. What once felt like limitation becomes memory. Because mindset is not what you declare once. It is what you repeatedly choose until it becomes the way you move. So the real question is not only what you want to do, but how you are seeing what you are doing. Because action does not begin with movement, it begins with meaning, and meaning begins with sight. And as this chapter settles, something quietly remains unresolved. Not as confusion, but as invitation. Because understanding mindset is only the beginning of the inner journey. There are still deeper layers beneath interpretation itself, and life in all its uncertainty has not yet fully revealed its lesson.